Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, April 30th. I hope you had a good first half of the week. And I'm here in front of what is now our gymnasium, but previously it used to be the front doors of our church. And I'm here actually surrounded by a lot of birds. I don't know if you're seeing any of them around me now, but there's a beautiful pair of cardinals that I think they have their nest right over there. And I just love the cardinals. The male is so that deep red, the female's that kind of brownish red, and it's just really sweet. I can't wait till they have their little ones and we have little, I guess, cardinals flying around the place. But Father Carlos feeds them. He has a feeder that's over there on the rectory. And so there's lots of birds all over the place, and he actually knows the sound of the different birds. But what I wanted to share with you, all this stuff about birds, for the birds, so to speak, is about, I don't know, probably 6-7 years ago, I created this app called PeaceQuest together with Kathy Carson. She's our director of communications here. She and I have worked together for many years. And we came up with this idea to create an app that you could use on your iPhone that would help people connect to God through prayer, through what we call the Ignatian spirituality, that of St. Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits. He had this type of prayer known as a composition of place, where you kind of put yourself into a gospel scene. So it's called PeaceQuest, but my little gift to all of you today is there's a little segment within the app that is a story that I wrote about this little bird whose nest gets blown apart and falls to the ground, and the bird has to go and rebuild it. And I thought I would love for all of you to see that little part of the app, because I think it's very apropos for what we're living today. We're all trying to rebuild our lives under this new normal of the stay-at-home order. Eventually these restrictions we know will be lifted, and then there'll be another new normal, and we'll try to figure that out, and we'll try to rebuild our lives. But we all know that we're constantly rebuilding our lives and rebuilding our nest as human beings, because that's just the nature. Things build up, things fall apart, we build them up, they fall apart. So I hope you enjoy this very much. So enjoy this, and I'll come back after you see this little story.
Come to the fountain. Look at this book. Listen to its story. Watch the sparrow. How industrious it is. How consistent. Every twig, every dried piece of grass, every tiny bit it finds goes into making a safe haven. But there is always the unforeseen. Some things you can't control. Instinct tells you that it must be made right again. But how? Your energy and desire is waning. But still, how to find happiness again? To find peace again? You must start by finding the first twig, and then begin with a plan in mind. The hope of something better, something secure. The very act of building will bring joy and peace. But how many times must you rebuild? How many times will nature, in an unexpected way, slow you and stop you? The teeniest, the most humble sparrow is not slowed. The sparrow has an endless supply of trees in which to build, an endless supply of twigs and dried grasses. The sparrow accepts the task ahead and peacefully brings the first twig to the new branch. At dawn, think of the sparrow and sing with him. Listen again to the sounds of Mary's garden. Breathe slowly, do not rush. Listen to God speaking to your heart. Feel this experience deeply. Pay close attention to what you feel, as this is God speaking to you. Even if we feel nothing, God is there to accept us as we are.
So I hope you enjoyed that little video clip. If you did like it, know that that is just one small little part of the entire app. The app is called PeaceQuest. When we created it, we made it as a play on the word map quest, where people try to find their way to something, and this was about trying to find our way to peace. Peace with God, peace within ourselves, and then obviously from that, peace with the rest of humanity. So go onto the Apple Store. It's called PeaceQuest. I think it's like $2.99 or something like that, but I think you'll really enjoy it. There's so many other parts to it. One of my favorite parts, and I know a lot of grandparents who have this app on their phone love to use this one little part where you actually can light candles. There's 10 little candles that you can light with your finger by touching the screen or touching the iPad. I know a lot of grandparents used to do that with their children, and it's a beautiful bank of candles, and there's an image of St. Anthony of Padua, who's the patron saint of things that are lost. St. Anthony, please come around, something's lost and cannot be found. So I know a lot of us have lost different things. Some of us have lost our jobs. Some people have lost their livelihood. Some people are probably losing their sanity by being in the house so much. But we've all lost social contact with each other. We've lost the Eucharist in a certain sense. We can only make spiritual communion. So St. Anthony is a wonderful saint to pray to when we've lost something or we feel lost. So I invite you to go to the app. I think many of you will enjoy it. And know that this weekend, the first weekend of May, I will be the preacher. I'm looking forward to having all of you tune in to our masses this weekend, and then I'll be back on Monday morning with another video. But I hope the second half of the week will be truly filled with the peace that only Christ can give, a peace that is ours for the taking if we just open our minds, open our hearts, and open our lives to Jesus in prayer. So I hope you enjoyed this little video clip, and look forward to seeing you over the weekend. God bless everyone. Bye-bye.